Hey everybody, welcome to this week's live stream. I hope you're all doing good today. So it looks like it's kind of hot in some parts of the country. Luckily, it's been cooling down lately. It's only 78 degrees in the shop today. I can't remember the last time it was 78 at noon. So I'm loving it. Hopefully it'll cool off for you if you're in a hot area. So today we're going to be turning up a closed end pen using one of these Olympics themed blanks. So we were kind of trying to go for, if you know, the Olympics just happened, and you might have seen the Olympic flag. It's very white. It's mostly white, and then it's got the rings, and in their colors. And so you got some black, red, green, yellow, and blue. Black, red, green, yellow. Yeah, 5 colors for the 5 rings. And I was going for just a little bit of color. It's going to be pretty white. The question is, how white is it going to be? Now this blank looks pretty good to me. This is kind of what I was going for. But this is the outside of the blank, so we're not entirely certain what's going on the inside. A couple things that could change if I was going to do these blanks again. And we'll have to see. Like I said, I haven't turned one or anything. I don't know what's on the inside. We'll see when we get going. I don't think I'm going to be disappointed necessarily. It's just one of those things when we were making these, I was talking about, a lot of times the first round of making a new blank, usually you got little tweaks. It may not be that it needs to be tweaked, but you're like, I see what happened, and if I maybe just add a little bit more of the colors, maybe that'll make it better. One thing we did not do was, excuse me, stir. We didn't use a stir stick or anything, to like mix the stuff around in the tube. I was just going for, let's just see what happens. We throw some color in here and don't touch it kind of thing. So it should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to this. And then we're going to be going with a closed end. I'm going with an Artemis kit from Bullseye Turning Supply. They sent the kits out to me. They also sent a couple extras. So we're going to be doing a giveaway for these guys, Mandrels and both of their kits. They have an Artemis and an Apollo. And what these are, again, it's kind of a bridge between a kit pen and a kitless pen. It's a closed end pen where you're gluing in some components, small components, nothing that you're going to actually see on the outside. All right, so again, it's got the bespoke look where the blank is the pen kind of thing. There's no extra components hanging out. What you're gluing in are basically just the threads to put it together, and then the nib holder. So we're going to be making a fountain pen. I'm going to switch to this view. So I've already created this blank. You can see that I marked kind of, it wouldn't have been too hard to put this thing back together, but I marked it and we're already ready to rock. So this is what you're gluing in basically, is this is the components that you're gluing in. This side, this is the body, and in the kit, you're going to get, I don't know if you guys can see on the inside, there's an insert there, and that's what holds the threads to thread your pen together. And then you got this piece, which is the threads for the body, but it also houses, and I'm actually going to put all this stuff together. This is all that comes in the kit. You get a nib, and they also, I'm pretty sure they have roller balls, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about that, but there's your section you get, and you also get, I don't have it in front of me. I'm just using a converter, but you get a converter as well as just one of the ink, I don't even know what they call it, ink cartridge things. I don't typically use, where the heck did I put that ink cartridge? I don't use the ink cartridges usually. Huh. Where did I put that thing? Could have sworn I had it right in front of me. Well, okay, I'm just going to break open one of these kits. I didn't throw it away, I know that. So you can also get these ink cartridges, which are pretty handy. You don't have to do any cleaning. This kind of makes fountain pens, like a lot of people that get into fountain pens just go with the cartridges because the ink is in there, it's sealed up, and then all you do is just pop it in to get the ink flowing. So it's kind of an easier way. You don't have to worry about filling and doing all that stuff. But for me, you only can get like blue, red, and like, I don't know, black ink usually in these things. if you're going to dive into fountain pens, you're still going to have to clean them and do stuff. So I'd rather just go get a converter and get yourself a bottle of ink. So that's what this is. It's just, it sucks the ink in. It's the ink holder. So you just shove that into your nib, and then you pop this guy in. And I got a little bit of a tip for you guys. I noticed something this morning that I had to kind of mess with, but pretty awesome. Hopefully it'll fit. I didn't put the whole thing, that's a triple start thread, so we got to find the right one. And so we have it. There you go. I mean, you could just use this as a pen. You don't even have to turn it. Pretty cool kits, I think. I really like the quality. Everything's good. You don't even, did you notice? It's not even squeaking. I didn't even wax this. So all made in America. Pretty awesome stuff. So big thank you to Bullseye Turning Supply. I think they're going to stop in sometime during the stream. I don't think they're here yet. So Kate, I'm not sure exactly who's going to pop in, but Kate and Savannah over there, they do a good job. And so they have these kits. They also sell pen blanks and a couple other things on their website. So make sure to check that out. But before you go anywhere, we also got, so they were awesome. So again, there's going to be a giveaway. And I'll tell you the code word. The way it's going to work for the giveaway is you're going to leave a comment, not in the chat. I can't do anything with the chat window here thing. So once the video is, you might be able to go in there now, but once the video is over, once the stream is over, go into the comment section, leave a comment, and I'll tell you what the code word is for the giveaway, because that's how I'm going to pick it. There's like a random comment chooser, but you need to type in, and it has to be spelled correctly, the right code word somewhere in your comment, so that I can pick one. And so, disclaimer, if you screw up and don't like misspell the word and all that kind of stuff, it's not my fault. So make sure that you got it correct. So the other thing that they gave me though is a 15% off discount code on your next order, guys. Seriously. Not only did they give us pen kits for me to turn, so I can kind of, share these with you. They gave us freebies for a giveaway, and they gave us a discount code for their website. So here is a link to their website, and this link, if you click on this in the chat window here, this link, there's also one down in the description. That link will automatically trigger the code when you're checking out, but just in case, just make sure that you're getting, when you're checking out, make sure that it's giving you the discount code. And if it didn't, then what you're going to do is type in. Let me just double check this. Yeah. You're going to type in ResinWorks. Make sure you spell it correctly and all that stuff. ResinWorks 15. So I'm just going to type that in just so you can see what I'm saying. So just like I said, if you click on that link, it should fire off everything and it'll be automatically set up, when you check out on the website. But just in case, double check and make sure you're getting that 15% code. And if it's not entered, then just type in ResinWorks 15. So. I don't know if they, I would imagine they ship, internationally. I don't see why not. Oh, are you talking about the giveaway? No, the giveaway is going to be open to anybody. I'll just eat the cost of shipping this time and pray that it actually gets there. So yeah, anybody's open to doing that, for the giveaway. Mark's done a couple of kits. Yeah, they're pretty, oh, they do have the rollerblades, okay. They sent me, everything they sent me was fountain pens. So just whatever. I kind of like, I like for these classy ones, I don't know. I like fountain pens. I like making fountain pens. I go back and forth on which ones I like to use. But, so, and we're going to put on a sticker here. I'm just going to have to use this camera because I got the other camera set up over there. So let's see here. Where can we put this sticker? Probably like right here. That's a good one. Okay, so I don't know. You guys can't really see this, but I don't want to have to move my camera and all that stuff. So I'm just going to wipe off my pressure pot. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that with acetone. We're going to put a sticker up. I like the stickers that have like a thing where you just fold it. Perhaps we'll do a sticker. Let's see here. Let me get my little knife out. See if I can get it in between the backing and the sticker. Jeez. Having some trouble here, guys. There we go. Got it. All right. We got it on the pressure pot. I swear I have one of these somewhere already, but now we got one right up front and center. So, and you'll get a sticker with the giveaway, whoever wins that. So I'm going to put the giveaway stuff aside kind of, so they're not in the way. Now, to turn these kits, again, the one thing what this saves you from is having to buy, a lot of tools, extra tools. Kitless pen making, with all the taps and dies and all that stuff, that can start getting expensive, especially if you're doing the triple start threads. That's where things get a little bit kind of crazy. Now, you don't have to do that, obviously, for bespoke pens, but it makes things kind of nicer when you put it together. So this kind of allows you to, really the main things that you're only going to need is like some drill bits, which most of you should have. The other thing that you're probably going to want to have is a collet chuck. And so to turn this, the way this works, I'm going to actually go overhead on this. So the way this works, this is a 3/8 collet. You're going to stick the mandrel in there. And then these guys, let's see, do I have something in there? The right one? Ooh, that's tight. Might have, there we go. That is really tight. Hold on a minute. Let me inspect this thing. Got it on right. Let me just double check this one, make sure I have the right sizes. Okay, so that one's working fine. This one's a little bit on the tight side. I might have had a little bit of glue squeeze out maybe. There we go. It just needed a little bit of help. So anyway, these mandrels hold your blank while you're turning, and you're going to want to have some tailstock support as well. So pretty simple way to go, but again, the one thing that I really think you could use a 3-jaw chuck, or maybe even like the pen jaws maybe, but the best way to go is use a collet chuck. It's just, everything's made to do that. You're going to get like pretty much no slippage. Collet chucks are great for holding round things. The other thing is I kind of recommend picking one up for your lathe anyway, because they make great holders for round blanks. That's one of the hardest things to do is, regardless of whether you're using a drill press or a lathe, if you're just grabbing it with like a 3-jaw chuck, or, a lot of times on your drill press, it's just like a bird's mouth kind of enclosure thing. It just doesn't really, it tends to want to spin. But when you're using a collet, you really don't get much slippage ever. As long as you, kind of tighten it down. These things are made to grip round things. So that's a good thing to pick up, I think, regardless. But that's going to be the one kind of, let's call it specialized, quote unquote, piece of equipment that you're going to want to have. So, pretty sweet. Let's see what's going on in the comments. It looks like we had Mike McEwen here first. Vinny's here, Lelia, and Bruce, and Mark. Radcon, welcome. Let's see. Did I miss anyone? Mark. David's here, and Kim. Let's see. I'm just scrolling, kind of quickly rolling through. If I missed your name, sorry about that. Jennifer's here. Bruce. And Old Man Rivers here. Kid Cooper's in the house. What's up, man? Welcome back. We missed you. Tim's here. Cool. Oh, Ann's here. I saw Ann. Wow, lots of people. Michael DeQuatro's here. Sweet. So welcome, everybody. Yeah, so again, for the giveaway, the comment that I'm talking about is not a chat, right here in the side window where we're all talking right now. It's going to be in like the comments section below the video. I think you can somehow access it maybe during the stream, but I would recommend just wait till the stream's over and go back down and leave a comment like on the replay kind of thing. It's just the easiest way to kind of think about it. So. Yeah, so the two different kits, let's see, the Artemis is the larger one. I don't know, I mean, there's not a significant amount of difference between these two kits. They both are awesome. But I think the Apollo is just slightly smaller. And I'm not like 100% certain like what, it's like just kind of like a little bit shorter for like drilling and stuff, but there's not a significant difference between them. I mean, the sections kind of pretty much look the same. Oh, these are both Apollos. Of course they look the same. Yeah, oh, well, okay, so I would say, okay, so the Apollo is probably using like a number 5 nib as well. So it's smaller. The Apollo is a smaller kit. You could probably get away with a slightly shorter blank. For these, I definitely recommend like a minimum of a 6-inch blank. And that's kind of what they're talking about in their instructions. I'm going to kind of quickly show you the instruction. Just kind of quickly show you the PDF. They have the instructions online. And also, there's a video that Kate did like about 3 years ago. And I'm going to link to that. It's already linked. I believe it's already linked in the comments section, or like the description of the video. But I'm just going to throw up a link right there for you guys if you want to go and check that out. Pretty simple. I'm not going through how to set this up. It's pretty simple. I'm going to explain it, but I'm not going to show you because I already did it. That's the tough thing about these streams. So let me kind of quickly show you the instructions here. How do I do that? Desktop, window capture, Apollo instructions. Okay, so you can kind of see them there. I'm going to actually make this a little bit bigger just so it kind of takes up most of the screen there. I don't know why it's not just size of the screen. Anyway, there, that makes sense. I'm going to small and me. So you can see there, you're going to do some step drilling operations on each piece. They show you the imperial and the metric. Frankly, the metric numbers, like for how far you're drilling in, make more sense to me. But the big thing is, keep in mind, you're not drilling all the way through the blank. That's the big deal. That's why they call it a closed-end pen, because you're not drilling all the way through and sticking a tube in. You're just going to drill in a little ways and then glue in those kind of component things for the threads to hold the cap and body together and all that stuff. So it's not that difficult. Just double check and make sure that if you follow these numbers that they give you in the instructions, you're good to go. They even have a couple tips. So they've got written PDF instructions online on their website, but there's also a video where Kate walks through everything about drilling it out, gluing the stuff in. The one tricky thing about these, and it's not that hard or anything, like it's not a big deal, but the one thing you got to kind of watch out for is when you're gluing everything together, you're actually going to glue it like together, like both the blanks. So the thing is, you need to make sure, this mandrel's a little tight. Whew. I don't know why it's so tight. But anyway, you're going to actually glue the blank together. You're gonna tighten everything up, and then you're going to actually want to use a clamp and then keep it like that. So the big deal is you got to make sure you're probably going to get some squeeze out. If there's glue on the faces of these blanks, when you glue it together, it's going to glue the blank together. So make sure that you wipe off very well, all the squeeze out when you put the components in. And it's fine. It's a little unnerving, but I mean, as long as you just wipe off the faces of the blank, there's no glue squeeze out on there, you'll be fine. The other little tip is on the cap, you want to sink that down, and you want to make sure that it's not like flush with the blank. You want it, again, follow the instructions. As long as you drill to the numbers that they give you, everything's fine, but you want that little, the thread piece that you're putting in the cap side to be just a little bit below the blank, just a little offset. And the reason for that is you've got, let me get a little pointer. There's a little step right here on this piece that needs to be able to kind of go in there. Like if the threads inside the cap were flush with the blanks, outside, you'd have a gap, like it would stop right there. because of this little step on the threads. So you just need to make sure that you've got enough room to clear that and you're good to go. So like I said, these are not hard in any way to make. It's like one of those things that you do it once, and there's a couple little tips that you just need to kind of make sure that you kind of follow those. But again, they're in the video, they're in the written description, or written PDF, and then it's just a matter of turning it. So it's pretty cool. These things are pretty cool. Again, made in the USA, and the components are quite nice. I like them. So. Proofread the instructions. I think I did find one little thing. I'm not sure. For the most part, it's good. I'll tell you what. One thing that I wish was in the instructions, and it shouldn't be that difficult. I'm gonna switch to that desktop view since you brought it up. So in here, what would make for me in my brain, and I was gonna write it in there. Can you see my? Can you see the cursor? There it is. So it shows you the depth that you need to drill on these. Like I'm a much more like reading these instructions, the words, and then having to switch over and look at this picture is, my brain just doesn't love it so much, especially the first time. What I would recommend is put the drill bit size. So this says like, you drill 2.8 inches on the imperial body, and then 1.82, and then 1. I would also put like, okay, so 1 inch, and then like maybe even inside this little picture of the blank, put the drill bit size so that I'm like, okay, 1 inch is, what is that one? 10 millimeter, I think, something like that. 23/64, 1 inch deep, 23/64. Like that would help me personally. That's not like a mistake or anything like that. It's just extra stuff. Commented the Apollo pens were inspired by Andy Paramore from Cornwall. Huh, that's cool. Yeah, Paramore's a group. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to switch over to this, not that one, to this camera. We'll head over. Let's see. I'm not sure which blank I want to turn first. I think we'll knock out the body. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to leave that there. Okay, let's go get things rolling here. What do you guys think? Oh, so one other little tip that I have that I ran into, and it's probably because I used probably way too much glue when I was gluing this together. I didn't give the video one more look. She's probably got a good, like, I don't know that she mentioned it in the video, but there's probably her technique of applying the glue to the parts when you're putting in like the steps and everything. I might really pay attention to the way she does it. What I found was I was pretty sure. I tried putting. Hold on a minute. Let me go get the components to give an example of what happened. It's always a good idea to make sure that everything like fits, like And so before the stream, I assembled the section, the nib, and the converter, put it in, and it didn't. It felt like it was really tight. And then when I was screwing it in, it was actually because the converter is connected to your nib, you can actually rotate your nib. So this is something to keep in mind. Like, I don't know if you guys are seeing that. Like it literally, you can unscrew the nib. So what was happening was I was trying to screw in the section, but there was something tight in there which was grabbing the converter, and so I'm trying to tighten this thing, and my nib is unscrewing. So what happened was, it was glue squeeze out was inside the hole. All right, and you may be thinking, oh God, what do I do? Like you got glue. So what I did to fix this was I just set up my collet chuck again, put the blank in the collet chuck, mounted it, and the drill bit that I needed that clears the converter is a 5/16. So what I did was I just brought this up, and you want to be pretty careful about this, but I brought my drill bit up, And you might need to kind of do a little tappy just to kind of get everything. You're not going to turn the lathe on, okay? I wouldn't recommend turning it on and using the motor, but you can get your drill bit in there and use the hand crank and just, you know, feed the drill bit and then just turn it by hand, and that'll clear out any glue squeeze out that you might have got in there. I think that's a pretty good tip. I didn't see that. I don't think I saw them mention anything about that, but if your converter, if something's going on and you can't get that converter, well, and actually I'll mention one other thing also, is when you're done drilling these things out, really make sure that you've gotten all of the junk out of them. Literally tap it, blow, you know, use your air gun, and keep doing it for a while, because what ends up happening is, and this happens with kitless pens as well, you'll have junk down in the bottom, you know, like shavings from drilling that just don't seem to want to come out, especially if you're using some sort of a lubrication when you're drilling. It just clogs it up. So really make sure that you're like tapping it and getting all those things out. You might even get like a little coat hanger and try and kind of pull some of this stuff out. Just make sure that there's no obstruction before you even mess around with trying to drill out, because you think it's you know, glue squeeze out or something that dried. And the other thing is, I guess, and they mentioned this, you know, you want to probably use 5-minute epoxy. I don't think I'd recommend using CA glue when you're gluing this together. You just don't really have a whole lot of time with CA glue, and if you mess something up, you're kind of hosed. And these kits aren't cheap, you know. You want to make sure that you don't make a mistake that's going to cost you. All right, so I got my 3/8 collet chuck in there. I don't know what the deal is. This mandrel's a little bit tight to get in there. There might still be some like glue squeeze out or something going on in there. But we'll just. I usually just try to tighten by hand at first, but you might, depending on which you know, chuck you have, you might need to use the tools to cinch it down, kind of thing. Let's see here. So yeah, the engraved nib kits, those, yeah, they got all kinds of stuff they're like kind of constantly working on. All right, so the body has I'm pretty sure it has quite a bit of room in it. So this is another thing. If you're using this blank was just about 6 inches long. All right, and so on the cap, I think it was the cap. Let me go look at my notes. Yeah, so the cap blank is only 2.5 inches long. So the way that they explain it, if you have a pen blank, they're talking about, like, if you got a 6-inch pen blank, then they want you to cut it so that you have a 3.5-inch blank for the body side and 2.5 for this side. Now the only issue is you're going to be drilling in like 2 1/4 on this cap, and so you don't have enough room really to be drilling in with a you know, usually on a bespoke pen kit I would use one of these center drills. Putting a the 60-degree cone in there is going to give you a lot better grip on your live center. Like just shoving this thing into the end of the blank, it tends to like open up and you know, it doesn't hold as well. So you have to constantly keep kind of fixing it. But if you can drill a hole in your blank, you know, just about maybe halfway up the end of this cone, you just get way better hold with your tailstock. Now I don't have enough room because I only had a 6-inch blank, so we're just going to use the tailstock or the live center the other way. If you have a blank that's longer than 6 inches, I would just go ahead and make your cap, you know, like 3 inches long, and then you can do it. You know, you use this, put a hole in there, just because you're going to need to have some excess to lop off after you've you know, turned it. So just one little note there. Technically, I think I have enough room on the body blank if I wanted to. Yeah, there's plenty of room on that. It's 3.5. And you're only drilling 2 5/8. So I'm actually going to do that. I just much prefer, you get so much better hold if you use the center drill. So that's the first thing we're going to do here is just, like I said, you don't even have to go deep or anything like that. Just go a little ways up the cone. That way that 60 degree onto your live center, which is also 60, it's just a much better hold. It doesn't end up, I don't find that they tend to like widen the hole or anything like that. So hopefully I'm not screwing things up here. Like I said, not deep, just a little bit. Do that, and then we'll get our live center set up, and then we're gonna turn this guy. Good, nice, good hold. Okay, now I don't exactly know what diameters and all that kind of stuff, so we're just going to kind of wing it a little bit. I'm guessing you could probably make the cap bigger than the body if you wanted. I'm gonna real quickly, I'm just gonna look at something here. Yeah. Okay. I think it might be a little bit difficult to get everything perfectly. It's going to be more difficult to try and get the diameters exact. You can use your calipers and you could do it, but I think I kind of prefer going with like a cap that kind of hangs over, having a wider diameter cap. So we're going to do that on this pen. It looks like, you know, I mean, you can pretty much go down to the metal. It'll probably be a little bit wider than that. I didn't put a lot of thought into like the turning of this, I guess. Now that I'm here, I didn't really think about that. I have my numbers for my bespoke kits, or not kits, bespoke pens. But we should be good to go. Let's get the vacuum going here. There we go. Oh yeah, you could glue on a piece of scrap. That's a good idea. Oh, there. Who is this Kate? Or Savannah? Ah, the dimensions are minimums. Okay. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see what these blanks look like on the inside. What do you guys think? Are these going to be pretty cool, or are you excited to see? Get off of there. And I have another question for you. It is Kate, okay. Do you guys ship internationally? Kind of guessing you probably do. I'm the only weirdo that doesn't. I just had a bad experience multiple times with it. And I gave up. All right, let's stop it and let's see what this blank's starting to look like here. Ooh. Look at that. It's got some weird stripes and colors in it. Kind of got a little bit bleedy in there, it looks like. But it's pretty cool looking. What do you guys think about this? Hopefully we got some of the other colors. Yeah, the other colors are kind of a little higher in the cap. We got red, green, mainly red and green, maybe a little bit of black in there too. I kind of like that. It's not exactly what I was going for, but pretty cool. All right, let's scoot you guys back just a little bit here. Get the camera out of my face so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, it's still got a ways to go here, I think. All right, let's see what the numbers are. I'm having a tough time seeing what the diameters are here. I feel like it's kind of thick in the middle, which I tend to do, and then kind of thinner on the end. So let's just take a few measurements here. I can't see. I gotta get my light. So this might be blowing you guys out, but I just need a light on the side so I can see my caliper numbers here. 15.75, yeah, 16. 16, 15.5. All right, so I'm a bit thick on the middle. And I think what I want to do is kind of keep it sort of straight and then taper down like right about here. So I got some work to do in the middle here. One thing I'm going to do real quick is, you know, you can kind of, if you're smarter than me, you might pre-plan what what you're doing here. So I'm going to look at the Artemis kit real quick. I'll pull it over for you guys. I'm going to look at what the dimension of that kind of ring thing is, just so it just helps, I think. You know, there's like a little bit of a ring right where the body threads meet up. So I pulled another Artemis kit out, and I just want to see. So we're looking at about 12.4 millimeters diameter, and then I was at about 15.7. Well, now I'm at about 15.4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to 15. I want to basically have about 15 millimeters for like a little ways on the front end of this, and then start tapering it down. So I'm almost there already. Just kind of helps me to know what some of these numbers are, so that sometimes you just keep saying a number and it doesn't really mean anything. Now it means something. All right, let me grab a couple numbers and see where we're at one more time. You don't even have to be all calipers and all this stuff, but all right, so I'm still at about 15.3 there. It's still kind of going up. Okay, just got a little bit of a bump that I need to smooth out. So I've got it pretty straight, then it starts to kind of taper off. So basically I want about an inch of straight, you know, flat 15 millimeter diameter. I'm just going to take a couple more hacks. And frankly, that's probably good. Now, I need to do, this is a little bit bulbous. I think I'm digging that. Let's give it a quick pass for kind of clean up the surface, and I think I'm done. Woo! I like that. Bring you guys in here. I kind of like how it's just, you know what's interesting? I don't know if you guys watched the opening ceremony at the Olympics this year, but it was raining and it kind of looks like rain, because it is, you know, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's not exactly, I wouldn't really call that like bleeding so much, but a little bit, you know. It looks like the rain's like kind of washing it out a little bit. It's kind of cool. Oh, there's a, you can use the bushing? Okay. Yeah, I guess you could, I'm not sure if I want to go thinner down there. Let's see, let me look, what's the bushing say? Really get it on there. .7 on the bushing, so that would be like your minimum. I think I'm at like 15. I don't know. I'm kind of all right with the 15. Yeah, like I'm like right at 15. I think I'm gonna leave it there and see. Well, let's see what it looks like at 15. I don't know. I'm just gonna go for it. All right, so zoom out a little bit. So we're ready to start. Well, I like to sand the bulk of it and then do all the end operations. I'm weird, I know. I can, you know, I don't have to worry about pressure or anything like that. For the main, I don't have to think, basically, for the main sanding portions. I don't necessarily recommend that you do that, but you know. Let's see, I'm going to switch back to this. I'm going to put some gloves on because I don't really like getting my hands wet that much. End up drying out and cracking, and I also don't like lotion, so it's a double-edged sword. If I just wear gloves, I don't have to worry about any of that. All right, so I'm going to start sanding with 600 grit silicon carbide. Oh, air compressor at the lathe. Yeah. I'll warn you one thing though, blowing off a lot of stuff in the shop, what can end up happening, if you don't have good dust collection, you end up just blowing it all over your shop, especially if you have fans going in the summer. So that's the one issue, because I used to be crazy with just blowing blowing dust all over the place, and I would just literally, like, everything in my shop would be covered, because I also I might have had dust collection, but I was also using like a gigantic fan behind me, and it would just cover my shop in dust. So just be a little bit careful about some of that stuff. But typically, like for pens, it's not a big deal. Where it really got nuts was if I was turning like a bowl, like a resin, and stabilized wood bowl, like a larger one, covered. I remember I dye stabilized some burl pink, and I literally had a layer of pink dust on everything, every machine, every cabinet. I mean, even on like the fronts of the doors and stuff. It was crazy. But I like the 600 because it usually cuts through any tool marks and all that stuff. 400 is not bad either. If you've got a few kind of deeper tool marks, the 400 will probably just work a lot quicker to get everything smooth. But typically, if you can get it reasonably clean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I had some like kind of, some little ridges and stuff, but as long as you don't have like, it's not looking like, speed bumps, deeper gouges from the tool. As long as the surface is relatively flat, but maybe, some, I don't know how to explain it, but like rough surface, but just not like, those big tool mark things. 400 is probably better off there. Let's see here. Yeah, it was horrible. That pink dust, I was like, good Lord. I mean, there's probably still pink. I can still show you some pink dust that's next to my lathe right here. It's still like, so I don't know if you guys can see. Let me wipe my hand off. There's still pink dust over, and I just gave up. I just flat out was like, whatever. So you see this, we have these huge plastic, I hung these plastic, it's like the painter plastic stuff. Literally, there is still pink dust down there. Can you see it? It's still pink dust. I don't know if you can see. It's a thin layer. I mean, this is years old. I guess it looks more brown on my finger, but I mean, it looks pink to my eyes on the white. Ridiculous, guys. You got to watch out for this dust. Another issue that I had, and this is something that it didn't really dawn on me. Be kind of careful about, so you guys know like the normal, your standard like dust collector, like it kind of, it's got like a big white thing and then a bag below it. So just like the kind of cheap dust collectors. The problem is if the filter isn't good enough, like I literally had one of those dust collectors sitting right next to my lathe, but the filter didn't actually filter out the dust, so it's sucking like the super fine particles. It was basically just blowing it back into the air out of the filter because it wasn't like whatever micron level. So you think you're doing good, and then you realize that you're not even filtering the air, so you're just breathing that stuff. Yeah, there's a pink tinge to it. It's ridiculous. Oh, the foam. Yeah. Pink foam. Yep. I'm telling you, you gotta watch out. All right, so I'm just gonna do the kind of lengthwise. Like I said, the reason I just like doing this because I don't have to worry about it bending or doing anything. I've got full support on both sides, and then I know it's kind of a little extra work, but to not like shape the end first, but I just don't have to think if I do it this way. Okay, so we got that, and then we're going to do a little bit of 1000 grit. And another way to go, and this is something I might actually start kind of playing around with, because I'm the tinkerer kind of, like I like finding the best route. So I do like the 1,000 grit, but what might be better, and Chad does it this way, it might be better to just go with, like I just find the silicon carbide, like 400 or 600 is way better than Abranet to get, your initial stages done. It's much more efficient. It works better. And in the end, I have less scratches on the blank, because I'm getting, the sand, that first step of sanding is getting done well. But you might just, if you still have because you might notice I don't use the, what is it called? The Zona papers so much, but those things are really good. So it might, 600 grit and then just start with the green, gray. I don't know, depending on what you're going to do, figure out where you want to stop with those things. But those things work really well too. Especially if all you're doing is polishing, which is what those are. They're polishing papers. They're not really meant to take off a bulk of material. I find the silicon carbide works better, the 600, at getting material flattened on your pens. And then the Zona paper, though, that stuff works really good to go up through the grits where all you're doing is taking out the previous grit scratches. So, I don't know. I think I'm maybe a little bit short on the sanding side of things. Like I'm kind of cutting steps, just going to 600, 1,000, then magic juice. I think I might get more consistent results if I kind of did things just a little bit different. Maybe, added one or two. I don't know where to go though, because I don't know if I need to add 800 between. I don't know if that would make a difference. Sometimes there's scratches. That's why I'm bringing this up. It's most likely caused by my sanding methods. Either way, if you use the 1,000 grit for long enough, you're going to get out all the 600 for sure. It's a bit of a step though up, where the Zona paper might be they're a little bit closer together, and I think even the green is a little bit closer to the 600 than. Like it's lower than 1,000 grit. So experiment, see what works best for you. Yeah, so is Bullseye going to, are you guys going to SWAT? I wasn't sure if you were or not. I couldn't make it. I was trying to go and I waited too long. The problem is I had that knee surgery and I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to have to book and then cancel. And originally I was going to go to Portland, but then my knee got messed up, so I had to cancel that. But I waited too long until I was sure that I was going to be able to do the trip without any major issues. By then the flights and I missed out on the group room rate thing, and I don't really want to stay blocks away because I don't want to have to walk that far. It was a mess. Yeah, that's looking pretty interesting. I like it. Like I said, it's not exactly what I was thinking in my head, but I really do I think it's going to be a cool looking pen. So now I'm going to go back and lop off the end. And I don't want to really adjust. I don't want to jack around with the dimensions. I kind of like the 2.5, 3.5 length about between the cap and the body. So I'm just going to try and kind of, sort of round this over a little bit and just get the dimple out, basically. But I'm going to leave the tailstock support up for a minute here. Come in with my detailer. I like using the negative rake on the detail tool. That thing is just... telling you guys, negative rake. 2 sets, let's see here. You're not, yeah, I couldn't make it out this year either. I'm pretty bummed. I haven't been to any events besides at Turner's Warehouse for a long time. So for anybody that's kind of new to this stuff, I find when you're dealing with something that has no support, like I'm doing, you don't want to come in from the side without trying to hold, and I'm not going to do that with my gloves on, but without giving it support while it's turning, which I don't love doing that personally. You don't want to be just coming in from the side, but if you're coming in from the end, if this is not to say that you're never going to get a catch or whatever, but I find that if you come in from the end and put the pressure in, you're probably not going to get some kind of weird catch in most cases on these things, because the pressure is feeding into into the mandrel basically, whereas if you're coming in from the side, I mean, this thing's not super rigid. There's a little bit of give, and it can kind of catch and break your blank. I like to come in from the side, or the end, I should say. Still got a little bit of a nubbin. Okay. Now I can go back to the sanding. Turn off the dust collector, because none of us like that thing blowing in our ears. I'm just going to do a little bit of sanding shaping here. Get all those, or any tool marks that are left from that, lopping it off. So again, you can really see you're probably best off going with a kitless length blank for this. Just so you don't have to be like, okay, because I'm basically working with the minimum here, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I'd have to significantly shorten the body of this if I wanted to kind of round it over and do all that stuff. I kind of just went for flat. I mean, I guess I could kind of round it over, but I think you have more options. You have less to worry about if you just go with a kitless length blank off the bat. Now, for the subscription or the pen blank club, I did keep all the Olympic blanks. That was one of them. I did keep them all, around as long as I could keep them, like 6 inches. So if you wanted to do one of these, closed end pen kits with them, you could do that. Typically my standard length blanks are 5.5, or well, the team color ones are 5, and then the verticals, the artisan series, those are all 5.5, and then my kitless ones are 8.5. So those are probably the smart way to go. All right, so it's time for some magic juice. Favorite time of the day, magic juice time. All right, so, and again, I like to go with the shop towels, the blue ones. They're just way less abrasive. But I've kind of come to the conclusion, I don't know that you really need to get all crazy about your polish application pad. I just don't know that there's a big difference there. And there's no good, like really good, definitely safe options. Most of them, I think your best option is going with a microfiber towel, but that can get a little dangerous if it wraps up, And I just don't think it's really necessary. All right, so step 1. My little towel ready here. I like to kind of like rub it in a little bit. Our speed correct. I go slower than I think they recommend. Most polishes that I know don't require a lot of speed. Still need to talk to Michael about that. Actually, Kate, do you know, have you talked to Michael about the Magic Juice application? I don't know if you use Magic. Yeah, you use Magic Juice. I find that if I'm going, because I think they recommend like 2,000 RPMs or something like that. I just find it flings it everywhere and it doesn't really work. I don't know. I don't like it. Let me know what your thoughts are. No, David, for the most part, the blanks that we make, it's whatever we make on the stream. So there's no different, everybody's getting the same thing, basically. There's no difference. I don't make some kitless, but I do plan to make some kitless blanks for the pen blank club. Sorry, I was thinking of some pen blank. We're going to be doing some kit, you'll be getting some that are kitless length. All right, so there's step 1. It's already looking a little bit shiny. Most of them are going to be standard length blanks in the pen blank club, but we will get a little crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough for me. I think if I were just not doing any videos ever or showing anyone anything, I think I might maybe just go with a microfiber because I know, it's not going to scratch or abrade the material. The problem is people see things that I do. I don't like doing things and then, people like beginners that have no clue what the context is, I guess, or whatever. I typically avoid things like that, and it's just not even worth me doing. I don't make enough pens in my own, like on my own time to do things differently on like the stream or something. I'd rather just get whatever method I use down and just do it. That's not to say that I don't like mess around and try different things, but I did try some microfibers. It worked. It was fine, but I kind of like just using these Scott towels or, whatever, the shop towels, because I'm done and I just throw it away. I don't have to worry about which one is which, and like I wouldn't want to just start throwing away microfiber towels because those things are not particularly cheap. There are some other benefits, I would say, just going with these things. And I've done a bunch of testing. I tried a bunch of different types of things, and frankly, I haven't seen any difference in, it's not like I'm like, oh, with the blue ones, it's more scratchy. There's no difference. So I don't know that you really need to even worry about it. I think where you get a lot more of the scratches is your lower grits. If you don't sand properly, then it doesn't matter what your polish does anyway. And I have definitely seen, excellent results using these blue towels quite often where there's like no scratches. So that kind of tells me that I don't really think the blue towels are harming anything. Especially through like the lower, like step 1 through 3 or 4. I mean, at that point, that's the thing is I'm like, even if it was abrasive, which it is, I'm sure, a little bit abrasive, like what is the abrasion level? What is like the grit equivalent, So, I don't know. I get a little crazy about things sometimes. What grit is Scott paper or Scott shop towels? Must inquire. Do some scientific testing on that one. Okay, we're on step 5. We're just burning through these magic juices. What an easy way to polish a pen, you know? Magic juice works great. I usually, because I do have buffing wheels and I have it set up all the time on my mini lathe, if I do run into a thing where I'm like, oh, there's some scratch, I just go over to the buffing wheels anyway, usually, if I notice it later on. That was the thing. When I first tried magic juice, I was like very skeptical because I'm like, I get perfectly good result, like consistently perfect results with my buffing wheels. But for the majority of things that you make, it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. Like, as long as it's all shiny, there's no dull spots, that's all you need. And so I found that, you know, I don't have to switch over, do anything, mess around with stuff. Like, I'm in the same position that I was sanding, and it's just way faster for 98% the result that I was getting with buffing wheels. So what's the difference? But if in a case where I need to get like every little minor detail sorted out, you know, or whatever, I can't have any scratches in it at all. Which, like I said, that's the thing, is you can't see them unless you like put them under a microscope. But there are a few pens that I want perfect. Then I just go to the buffing wheels. I don't mess around with anything. But I still finish with magic juice because it leaves a better gloss, like number 6 or 5. You could also use the Turner's Warehouse ring bling, same idea. Just use a high polish, you know, something. You can even just use whatever auto polish you have on hand if it's like the scratch remover one or whatever. Same difference. I think this stuff works a little better. I think it knocks down some of the static, and I think it also reduces fingerprint stuff, which also might be the case for the ring bling from Turner's Warehouse. I think that stuff might be similar. I don't know. Seems similar to me. All right, let's see what this thing looks like. What do you guys think? I'm gonna get you guys right under. There's a pretty good angle I can get where it's not like glaring back at you. Woo! I like it. I think we're gonna get, so the other thing is, I'm pretty sure this is the bottom of the blank, like when we poured it. I want to say, well, maybe it's not, I don't know. Well, okay, I don't know. But I think that one end of this blank is actually going to have more color in it anyway. I think this is probably the more sparse end. I like it. I like it a lot so far. Okay, I gotta get my tools out to... It gets warm and then it expands, and I can't loosen it by hand. Okay, so we're switching over to our other, this is our cap. Now again, I know in my head the body diameter was about 15 millimeters. So I'm going to be going probably about 16 on the outside. I'm going to look at a note real quick. What do I usually do on my bespoke ones? I usually go about 2 millimeters. So I'm going to go like, we'll see, 16, maybe 16 and a half. Kind of split the difference there. That nice and tight. Now this one is the one, so I could glue something on there. You're right. I have a little bit of something. Ooh, I do. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I think I'm gonna, do I have a smaller one even? Okay, I'm just gonna lop off a piece off a blank that's just random over here somewhere. I could even use a piece of wood, I guess, but let me find a random blank that I don't care about. That'll do. All right, so I'm going to put you guys on mute for a minute. I'm just going to cut a little bit of blank here. And then we're going to do the glue-on method. I like that idea. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do this super quick. You could like hot glue it if you wanted. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with a kind of a thick, oh, got another thick right there, okay. I'm gonna go with a thick, let's get you guys back just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna go with a little bit of thick CA. It'll come out of the tube here. Thing is, we don't need like a significant amount of hold or anything, you know, like we just need something to stick there, and then you know, you're going to be applying pressure, so it's not like, it doesn't really matter that much. Oh, did I get, was that water or? Okay. And then I'm going to spray this guy. And then I'm just going to stick it. Because that's really all you need, you know? You don't really need to get crazy. Probably going to be a little off. Look at that. Look at that wobbly guy. Doesn't matter though. So what I'm going to do is we're going to drill. Use that little center drill guy and get a nice 40 degree, and that's going to hold a lot better in this blank. I really think this is, I really would recommend doing this. The threads for the cap are a plastic piece anyway. So if anything's gonna, if there's some weird stuff going on and you're not getting good hold, this is probably gonna be the one that's not gonna like stay together, right? I think that your cap, you're much better off adding a little bit of, you know, helper, whatever, this little extension, and then going for your the 60 degree connection on your live center than just trying to stick it. It just never works trying to stick a live, oh, I got my glove stuck. Never works for me just sticking a live center, the cone, in flat resin. It just, it's not holding. Just opens up the gap. It constantly, you have to keep readjusting it because it's not really holding. Look at that. Thanks for the tip. Everybody's like, you're a great turner. I'm like, I don't even think about like glue blocks and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Dilemma. Oh, David uses the white. Yeah, those are way more abrasive than the blue ones. Like I can actually see a difference. Like if we chuck that that blank back up, if we chuck this guy that I just finished back up, and then I hit it with a white paper towel, like it would actually abrade it. It would knock down, it would dull it, basically. But, you know, it depends on the brand, I suppose, as well. I think I use the Brawny, or what do I use? Bounty. Those things are abrasive. I don't like that chunk wobbling around all over the place. It's going to introduce vibration into the turning. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get that thing running true. It was significantly worse than the blank was. I wish everything in life was as simple as a little CA and an offcut. That would make things a lot easier. All right, so let's see what kind of colors we got in this cap. We're not going to be digging too deep into it. That's the one problem. You know, like these blanks might actually do better on like a Sierra or something like that, cigar. Just because you're going to get a little deeper, and you know the colors there may be more color on these blanks in the center. But we've got all of our colors. We got our blue, yellow, black. Definitely showing up there, and we have our red and our green in this bottom part, you know, in the body. So we got everything. Some of them sunk a little bit more than the others, but I don't know. I like this. I'm digging this blank. So where are we at here? Let's see. The blank started at like 19 or so millimeters. Should have. Alright, yeah, so we're at 18.3. So I want to go to about 16 and a half on the diameter down here, and then just kind of, you know, slightly taper it down to about, maybe to about, you know, 15 at the other end. I gotta get the camera out of my way. Sorry. It was right there. Right there, guys. It's gonna be bad. Yeah, I really like this is a Beal, call it. I really like it. I had like one of the cheap Chinese ones, and that was terrible. I think the ones from Craft Supplies where there's like two little doohickeys, I think those work okay. But the Beal's pretty good. The only issue is they give you, what do they give you? The like wrench thing they give you is only for this part. Like I went online and I bought this set of tools, and this makes the Beal collet absolutely amazing. So then this thing goes on the nut, and then this thing holds it one way or the other. And so you can actually tighten and loosen. There was no good way to do it. Like I had to pull out like channel locks, and it had some bar thing that actually didn't even fit in the hole and messed it up. So I don't know if they changed anything with things now. This one's a few years old. Definitely before Beal went out or whatever. I can't see. All right, so I'm around 17.3. So I basically need to go about 1 millimeter. And actually, how am I doing with my straightness here? I'm still kind of, I tend to do that. The middle is always like thicker. Yeah, I gotta do a couple things here. I don't even know what wrench. I don't even think I got a wrench, to be honest. Maybe that was my whole problem. Like maybe I'm missing parts or something, because whatever came in the box, like I was like, this is idiotic. This is not going to work at all. Okay, let's take a couple measurements. You don't have to be all exact and mess around like I'm doing. I think it's nice to do things like that. So I'm about 17. Okay, so technically I'm about 17.3 still. I got a little ways to go. What is this nut thing? $14. What am I at on this end? 16, okay, so basically just need to take a couple more passes here. It should be to the numbers that I'm looking for. That was a terrible cut. That's looking pretty good. Let's see what I don't need to be perfect on the numbers, but I just kind of want to see where we're at here. I think we're going to keep going. Take a little bit more off. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Still a little bit bulbous in the middle, so I'm just going to take and try to kind of smooth out that middle part, and I think that's it. That's all we need. Now I'm just going to try and take some of this down a little bit. Kind of get it out of my way. Okay. One other thing that I'm going to do really quickly, I'm going to be very careful. In fact, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing. I'm just going to come in and take a tiny, tiny nub on the bottom there, just to kind of round it over. And that's it. We're gonna sand. Like I said, I'll lop off the end, you know, later. I like to do that. All right, let's see here. I know, it's like you can fix anything with duct tape. I know. We can fix anything. That's true. Yeah, so let's take a peek at the blank. I didn't really show you guys. I haven't even really looked at it that much. Messing around with numbers and stuff. Ooh. I'm digging it. I mean, this is kind of what I was going for, like a lot of white and then just kind of like those Olympic ring colors just kind of strewn about. Now, I think we would maybe have like more swirls and like it'd be a little bit more, I don't know, swirly, I guess, if we use the stir stick on this. Because this was just, all I did was pour it in there. And you can go back and watch the pouring, you know, the live. But I'm happy. I mean, this is kind of what I was going for, I think. Maybe a little bit more on the, little bit of bleed maybe. And I don't know if this blank is exactly one of the ones that we poured. Now remember, I kind of waited on the first batch that we poured on the stream. It was starting to really get like set up. Like I waited kind of, I definitely blew the number that I was gonna pour it at. We blew by that. I think I was gonna pour it at like 110. And I think it was like at least 115 when we started pouring. So there's some things going on there too. Oops, I need this water. Where, you know, some of the blanks in the club might be, you know, I don't know which one's which. I don't know which one I'm turning right now, and you know, you'll get one of them. But we, on the second batch, I think we hit, you know, like 110. I think we started pouring then. So, you know, you never know. You get different results by changing the temperature you pour at, whether you stir it or not with a stick kind of thing. Yeah, I know, they call them after the noise. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I'm happy with this. This is pretty close to what I had. Now, I was hoping to maybe keep like the very bottom of the blank like white. Totally white. The thing is, you know, when you keep, because we poured, you know, the color and then white and then another color and then white. When you keep pouring white, so the white is heavy. That's definitely going to be the heaviest. I'm pretty sure they use titanium dioxide and it just sinks like a rock in resin. So I was kind of hoping if I pour some white in the bottom, you know, first, that it would be kind of at the bottom. And I don't know why I can like still think that that's going to be the case, because it never typically happens. You end up getting a little bit of mixture, even no matter what. Maybe if I filled the blank up, or I mean the the mold, the tube. Maybe if I filled it like half to 3/4 with just white, and then, but I mean, then you don't have enough room left, to get colors in there. So it's tough. Resin casting, little tough. I'm gonna introduce 800 to the mix here. 800. I'm just gonna see if there's any difference that I can tell. This isn't particularly scientific in any way, but see if there's any difference between going 600, 800, 1,000, or 600, 1,000. I'm not a huge fan of adding more sanding, but nice thing is you don't really need to sand as much. You're probably, in time spent is probably about the same to get this, to get the 600 grit scratches out, whether you go 800 then 1,000 or just 1,000, because the 1,000 is going to have to work harder, basically, longer. Okay, that should probably be good. If that didn't get the 600 out, then nothing will. And there, and then we'll go to our 1,000 grit. Let's just see what happens. I don't know. I didn't see a ton of scratches before in the other one, but as I get older, my eyesight gets worse, and scratches just seem to not be there ever. So that's great. What scratches? I don't see any scratches. Okay. Let's wipe it off. Time for the magic juice. Let me go get me some blue towel. Real quick. I do have to rip my little blue towel into all these little pieces. Okay, step 1. Let's get this going here. What is that noise? I keep hearing noises. Oh. Pretty sure my computer is gonna die. I think the power supply thing is making noise. The fan, like the fan or something. I don't know. I have a feeling that computer's about on its way out. Or there's a mouse in there. I don't know. One of the two. Okay, sorry. Oh, I should cut the little extra off there before I do the polishing. Thought I was forgetting something. Okay. Reverse. Okay. Now we can finish doing this thing. I'll pull my 600 back out. I'm going to turn this dust collector off for sure right now. Masterclass in forgetting to do things. I think most people that just lop it off first and then sand the whole way, I think that's probably way smarter. I'm just stubborn. Seems like a good way to go. In theory, keeping the tailstock up as long as possible is brilliant, but in actual practical use, I'm not sure that it's that great. All right, there we go. Up to 1,000 here. Okay, I'm calling it. That's good. That's enough. Let that kind of dry off a little bit there. Now, we're gonna have to start over, but we're gonna go with our 1,000. We're gonna go with our step 1, magic juice. Speed this up a little bit. Step 1, done. Surprised I didn't get a grab or anything on step 2. Step 2 is always dry. I don't know why. It's my least favorite step. So what's everybody working on? Anybody doing anything cool? Things have been a little bit slow lately. I think around back to school time, I think, I don't know, it's like everybody takes like vacations and breaks and they got their kids going back and all that. End of August. Once we hit September, then everybody's like, oh yeah, it's shop time. Maybe everybody's just sick of 150-degree weather. By August, they're like, I'm not going in the shop. I'm done. Wait till that temperature cools down. All right, step 3, done. On to step 4. Ooh, an anniversary gift, that's cool. Website updates. Ugh. I don't like website messing around. Tell you what though, it was a lot because I use Shopify also, and God, I used to originally I built like a full-on WordPress website. Oh my God, and I built it myself. It was a nightmare keeping that thing up to date and all that stuff, all the different plugins and then like one thing would update and then something else had to update because of that update and nothing worked together. Shopify makes things a lot easier. Any of those types of things. Squarespace would be the same. Wix. The website in a box idea, I think, at this point. Back when I started, the problem was if you went there, they had things that were like I don't know if Shopify was around then, but they had similar types of things, but they just didn't really work. Like you had like no options. They were like, it's going to look like this, and everybody else's looks exactly the same. And unless you could like code hardcore, and it was like a weird kind of like not a standard type of thing usually. Pay somebody to do it, or I don't know. There wasn't enough like options and configurability, design differences to make it worth it. But you could do all that stuff with WordPress. So it was better when I started. Then it just got to the point where like now you don't have to have any website, HTML, whatever skills, CSS. If you can use a computer, you can make a website, which is fabulous. Pretty decent looking ones too, you know? Okay, step 6. Whew. So if the feed dies, my computer exploded, just to let you know, because whatever sound it's making is troubling. I wanted to switch to using a Mac, but I'm equally not enthused about having to set up an entirely different live streaming setup. But I actually do think it would be better because I think that computer is really holding back. It's causing more problems than it's worth, let's say. But, ooh, that's nice. Maybe that 800 was a good idea. I mean, it's never a bad idea to not skip too many grits, but I don't know. You guys, hold on a minute. Let me get in here. And works better if you guys kind of, there we go, have that view. Stop pencil. There we go. Better colors in the cap there. That must be where I poured. This must be like the top because I poured probably about, I was going for like a quarter to a third, but a lot of them ended up getting about a half the tube was white, and then I poured the color on the top. So I'm thinking the cap was on the top part. Now with this blank, I mean, there's really no lining, like I didn't need to line anything up. I don't think there's no, nothing's gonna, I would, let's see. It's probably like that is probably the way that it goes. But I think I could put it whichever way I want. I like it. What do you guys think about this? It's different. I mean, it's, and it may not be for everybody. To me, I don't know. It feels like a abstract, weird painting or something, graffiti almost. But pretty cool. Like I said, I really like these kits. It makes. I mean, I don't know, guys. When you put it together, that looks. There's absolutely no difference between this and a bespoke pen. Looks great. And the components are great too. It's nice hardware. I think I saw, are they Schmidt nibs? Is that what you use? I gotta get my glasses out for this one. I think these were Schmidt's. I'm guessing you can probably get more nibs. Because, I'm guessing Yovo's not going to fit if you had some on hand or something like that. Or Box are not going to fit. But you can probably get the Schmidt's from Bullseye if you need more. Everything fits nice. The threads are very nice on everything. I mean, I don't even need to put, I think I will, but I don't really need to put any wax on this. It's not squeaking or doing anything weird. I think it would make it even smoother. I mean, let's do it real quick. They're already smooth, don't get me wrong. That's what I'm saying. But I think I kind of prefer putting a little bit of wax on threads, metal on metal threads. just so we're going over to the main desk here real quick here. There we go. So I like to put a little bit of thread. You absolutely have to put this on like a pen kit. Otherwise those threads squeak and it's just absolutely horrible. I'm gonna go get a little slice of paper towel here. Just a regular piece. So I liked, and you don't need to have any kind of fancy wax, like whatever paste wax. You could use a candle. Literally, I've done that. It's nice to have a can of paste wax in the shop just to apply to like metal surfaces and stuff. But let me get these. Like I said, not necessary, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything. Just to add a little bit, it'll kind of keep moisture out, possibly. I don't know. Not that that's really is a problem on any pen that I have, but a little bit smoother even. But like I said, not necessary at all. And then the cap body thread union is very nice. It's smooth. I don't know. I really like that. I'm digging it. Pretty happy with the turning. I didn't screw anything up royally. That's a plus. So pretty sweet guys. Yeah, the hardware is all made in the USA. So once again, I got a link down in the description. I'm going to drop one more link. They're giving you guys 15% off your next order. So all you got to do is enter code ResinWorks15. You get 15% off, and they have all kinds of stuff on their website. It's not just these kits. They got, so are you guys familiar with the hemp blanks? They sell those. Those are really cool. They stabilize them up for you. I've got a couple that I did. They're not super, I didn't do the greatest job. There's a couple pieces that I wasn't super thrilled about with the, but it's literally made out of hemp. So they got the hemp blanks on their website. They make their own resin blanks over there. So they got that stuff. What else? I don't know. All kinds of stuff, guys. They got all kinds of stuff. So you can save 15%. I really love these kits though. Especially, like I said, these are just excellent for people that have been turning kit pens for a long time and are like, I kind of want to get into the bespoke thing. This gives you the opportunity to dive, you know, just kind of dip your toes in that realm. Because as far as I'm concerned, these are pretty much, there's not any difference really. The only difference between this and a bespoke pen kit, or like a bespoke pen, fully bespoke, is the section piece. That's the only thing that's different. I mean, you made the rest of the pen out of the blank. So minimal extra tools. You're just going to need the drill bits that you need. And then, like I said, I really would go for a collet chuck. I'm sure you could get away with, you know, using like a 3-jaw or something like that, but collet chucks are just way better. And you're definitely going to need that down the road. And I really think even if you're not even don't even want to deal with bespoke pens and all that, if you're drilling out round blanks, I think it's just a must have, and they're not that expensive. Oh, I forgot to drop the link here. So here's a link. And this already has, like, when you click this link, it's going to take you to their website, and it's already going to input that code. But just like I said, just double check, make sure when you're checking out that ResinWorks15 was applied. If it wasn't, then type in ResinWorks15 and it'll apply it. So pretty cool. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling up to see if I missed anything. Yeah, a computer with bad Chinese capacitors. There's like explosive pops. Oh man, I don't even think I have. I'm pretty sure it's like the fan on the, maybe even just like the bearing on the power supply. Because it's I don't know, it's been hot in the shop, and it's been like making all kinds of weird noises. Now it's making squeaky noises, so that's not great. Oh, I was gonna wear the SoCal shirt. I totally had it. I put this shirt on because I was like cutting stuff and doing stuff that was messy, and I was gonna wear my SoCal. I was gonna wear this one. It's literally, it was sitting right over there. Oh well. Missed opportunity. My leftover weed, yeah. Purple rain blank. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Dark green hemp. Nice. Chapstick label cast. Oh, unscented. I see. Unscented chapstick. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, one time I was shipping orders out, and I had a pen that I made, and I really don't like sending, most all those kits, like the threads like squeak on all of them, and so I was shipping stuff out, and I needed to get it shipped like right away, and so I'm like, I was at home and I wasn't at the shop, which was 30 minutes away, so I'm like, I think we have a candle somewhere, and so I just rubbed the candle on the threads, and it actually worked good. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this pen. I wasn't sure, I'm like, okay. Especially like I said, I get into like, I don't have to think mode with like Sierras and stuff like that. I don't even think about what I'm doing. So when I do a different like kit or whatever different type of turning, I got to kind of think, and I like it though. I like the dimensions, the proportions. I like the reveal with the cap and everything. I'm pretty happy with my pretty happy with my work there. Not too bad. So anyway, yeah, thanks for joining the fun, and thank you so much. So okay, we're having a giveaway. Sorry, I didn't think about that. We got all kinds of stuff. So there's the discount code, and where's the giveaway goodies? We're doing a giveaway, and it's open to anybody anywhere in the world. So we have here, we've got an Artemis and Apollo kit, as well as the bushings that go, or not bushings, the mandrels for each one of those. They're both fountain pens. They're gold plated. They're the gold plating on them, both of these. So, and this is all going to be one. We're going to do one giveaway, one winner. So what you need to do is leave a comment on like the replay, or I don't know, depending on which device you're on and all that stuff, wherever, not in the chat, not here, right now. In the comments for the video, leave a comment and put the word bullseye, and I'll type that out. You have to spell this correctly, okay? I just want to make sure everybody knows. That's why I'm typing it in. So type in the word bullseye somewhere, anywhere in your comment. I mean, literally, if you don't want to leave a comment, you just write the word bullseye. That's all you need. Bullseye. Everybody knows that. But just double check that you didn't, have some weird spell check error or something like that. Bullseye, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a program that just goes through all the comments and picks out of them. Now, if you don't want to enter and you want to leave a comment, then just leave your comment and don't add the word bullseye in there anywhere. But if you want to get in on the contest or the giveaway, what I'm going to do is use a program that's going to pull one comment out of all of them that has the word bullseye in it. So it all needs to work that way. All right. So, well, no, it's for anybody. If you're watching live, just wait till the end and go into the comment. So we'll I'll pick the winner probably like sometime during the week or something like that. I don't know. Maybe even pull it. I don't know if I want to do that on the next live stream because things could get all weird. So I might just like record the screen and have it pick the winner. Yeah, just copy and paste the word bullseye and then stick it down there because we're wrapping things up. So once I shut everything down, then just go into the comment thing and then type bullseye, leave whatever comment, and you're entered into the giveaway. So big thank you to Bullseye Turning Supply for these awesome kits. Excuse me. I need a drink before we wrap things up. Now, they sent me a few other kits, so this isn't going to be the only time you see these guys. I love making these things. They're pretty cool. And this is one of those things that, like I said, there's a couple tips and tricks that you want to do. Obviously, don't glue the blank together and leave that little gap. These are very simple things. It's not like there's anything difficult about turning these, but I think that it is definitely, once I do something once, and I have done one of these kits, but it was like a couple of years ago, and I kind of just got in the habit of pulling whatever's in my drawer out, simple Sierras and stuff. But once you do one of these things, then you're like, oh, this is easy. There's really nothing to these things at all. So anyway, pretty cool. Again, leave the comments in the like replay the video part. I think you can maybe get there from the live somewhere, as well as the chat. I'm just not sure, because I'm on like a separate thing as you. Well, let me look. I'm gonna look on my phone and just see if there's a way that you can like leave a comment while you're watching. I'm not really seeing any easy way to leave a comment while it's running. So just wait till the end, copy, bullseye, and then paste it in the comment, and we'll be good to go. So next week we'll come up with I got an idea that's rattling around in my head that I think we're going to try for some blanks next week, and it should be pretty fun. But make sure, like I said, if you want to pick up some kits or some blanks or anything like that, head over to bullseyeturningsupply.com. I just want to make sure that I got that right. bullseyeturningsupply.com. Head over there, enter the code ResinWorks15. I just want to make sure. Sometimes people give me, it's like Zach or something like that. ResinWorks15, save 15% on your order. And then leave that comment to get entered, and like I said, win a couple pen kits, and you get I think the even cooler part is then you got the mandrels, so when you want to pick new ones up, you're ready to rock. So thank you to Bullseye Turning Supply. They are awesome over there. Go check them out. Thank you guys all for joining the fun today. This pen will be available if anybody wants to purchase it. Just shoot me a message either via email or on Instagram somewhere. And I think that's about it, guys. So we'll be back in action next week, noon on Saturday, and it should be awesome. So if you're in a hot zone, stay cool, avoid that heat, and yeah, get in the shop and do something. If it's not too hot, have some fun out there, and I'll see you guys all on the next stream. Have a great night.